It wasn't so long ago that we were hating our lives in Torghast, farming renown, and refreshing LFG for hours. We were begging for a rated environment that we could climb as individuals, without wondering if it's been our teammates holding us back all along. Enter Dragonflight. We have Solo Shuffle. WoW Arena, something that has always felt so inaccessible and elite, is now open to anyone. No longer are you gatekept by how star-studded your achievement log is with the achievements of past seasons. Everyone is ready to reach their true potential now, and many of us felt that we were secretly gladiators, setting high expectations among ourselves at the start of the season. And many of us have felt disappointment during the climb that has ensued. When the goals we set are unmet, the game becomes frustrating, and the sense of fun drifts away. Me personally, I've never played WoW more than I have this expansion. For the first 2 months, I've absolutely loved it. But then, just last week, my enjoyment of Solo Shuffle took a dark turn. But before we can talk about that dark turn, I have to give some context. I still remember the moment the servers went live after the Season 1 patch. I was staring at the gray names of the realms, and then suddenly, they were open. I instantly logged in, and the first thing I did was queue for Solo Shuffle. The experience that would follow in my first weeks of Solo Shuffle was one of getting my ass completely whooped. But I didn't care. I was in pure stimulation-induced bliss. It felt like such a privilege to be able to participate in ranked arena at any time. I didn't care what my rating was. I just loved a good heated match, which was basically all of them. And as a healer, it was instant gratification, never needing to wait for a Q pop. Although skirms had been nice for getting some of the basics, the 6-round format of Solo Shuffle was like a supercharger for learning the game. Then, after thousands of rounds in Solo Shuffle, absorbing as much educational content as YouTube and Skillcapped had to offer, alongside being reinforced by hitting Duelist twice, I felt like my fundamentals were finally becoming developed. So as an ambitious and extremely competitive person, I decided it's time to up the ante. Because I knew that I was capable of more. Enters my goal, and more importantly an expectation, that I will reach 2400 in Solo Shuffle. Suddenly, instead of queuing to experience the gameplay I've so desperately desired for all these years, now I'm queuing to win, because I've set an expectation for where I belong as a player. Additionally, I'm reaching for this goal to prove to others and myself that I'm worthy, and that I'm capable, making losing frustrating and upsetting rather than an opportunity to learn and grow. Lots of aspects of this game are out of our control, from how our teammates choose to use their cooldowns, to even how the class we play is tuned and changed by Blizz. With my class Holy Paladin receiving a massive nerf to one of my main burst heals, the push for my goal has become even harder. And the lower my rating goes in comparison to 2400, the worse I began to feel about myself and those around me. In regards to teammates, it's led to blaming and getting angry at them when they don't hit that obvious button that could have saved the day, increasing my sense of frustration and anger towards my fellow WoW Arena enjoyers, which is really quite funny to me, because in my normal day-to-day life, there's so little people that could relate to what I do for fun. Yet here I am surrounded by like-minded people, and I'm getting pissed off at them for sabotaging my self-worth. And as a result, I'm isolating myself from the very community I choose to spend all my free time in. The farther I stray from the rating I've decided myself to deserve, the more tunnel vision I become on the negative. From how dog water I am for fat fingering an ability, a simple human mistake, to how angry I am at my warrior because their positioning is constantly making me exposed for CC. Furthermore, it makes those lower MMR 5-1s feel like nothing because obviously I'm way better than these people, and the 3-3s feel terrible because I can't believe I could possibly go even at a rating so far below where I've once been. This is a terrible cycle I've began. The longer I stay in it, the further my focus shifts from the joy of the incredibly fast-paced, stimulating gameplay experience to just a simple number that I've inscribed with my own personal worth as a human. And when that number isn't how I like it, I just hyper-focus on all the negative things that are bringing me further and further from my ideal rating. Up until I set this expectation to hit 2400, queuing for Solo Shuffle and Dragonflight has made me feel like my much younger self when I first discovered PvP and MMOs. That level of satisfaction I got from getting things like killing blows and topping the damage charts and random BGs. The act of playing the game was just exciting and fun, without the need for an external motive. Well, let me just say, I've ruined games for myself in the past by forcing myself to play them in a certain way just to achieve some external goal. And let me tell you how that worked out. I don't play those games anymore. With how much fun I've had in Solo Shuffle this season, I'm not going to let myself do that with Dragonflight as well. So that's why I'm making this video. to douse myself early with a bucket of water before I burn out, and hopefully share some perspective with anyone else out there who is so excited for solo shuffle and now is just not feeling the joy anymore. So, this is how I personally am going to fix the problem. Now, I know you might be thinking that I'm about to denounce my goal of reaching 2400, but let me tell you, hell no. I am absolutely keeping that goal. I think goals are great for giving a sense of direction with the things I'm doing, and for me, always having something bigger to strive for is so important for staying driven. What I am denouncing though, and this is really the key to having fun again, is the expectation that I need to get 2400 to feel okay with myself. Fuck that. That expectation has brought me no positive results and has caused me to lose sight of the things I've enjoyed so much about this season. Granted, you more experienced players who've been queuing Arena for years are probably going to have a lot harder of a time putting your expectations to the side. Yours have been built up by potentially a decade of ranked Arena, and maybe you feel like you know exactly where you should be placed in the bracket. So when you're below that, it probably hurts twice as bad. Obviously, I'm not in your situation, so there's only so much insight I can offer, but when I look at it, there's simply too many variables to truly discount or upsell yourself because of a number. The metas are constantly changing, and sometimes you just get unlucky with the lobbies or the tuning Blizzard has in place. The best thing anyone can do for solo shuffle is just remember how we got here, to have a place to queue for fun and to improve as individuals without all the bullshit complications of LFG. Don't get me wrong, I certainly think LFG still has its place. It's just nice it's not the only option anymore. During my first 2 months of the expansion, I had more fun than I've ever had playing World of Warcraft in the past 15 years. And because it was my first time really trying to be competitive in Arena, I went into it open-minded with no expectations for myself. This allowed me to just focus on the gameplay and learn from those better than me without ego or bias. Although I didn't have a target rating in mind, I still managed to improve from 1200 in my first week of shuffles to Duelist after about a month and a half of queuing. I attribute my rating climb to a simple system for long-term growth and improvement. You can visualize it as 3 circles. The innermost is my identity, which has been, I'm a dedicated Arena player that is committed to maintaining his body and mind for its best performance possible. The next circle is the processes that would correlate with that identity. So for me, it was maintaining a set sleep schedule to guarantee 8 hours, being 100% sober, and of course, playing as much solo shuffle as possible alongside devouring content from better players. And finally, the outcome that this led to was reaching Duelist as a brand new healer, learning Arena from the ground up. If I were to have just maintained that mentality, I'm certain that with the growth I've already experienced, and with enough time, I'll reach my goal of 2400. The reason solo shuffle stopped being fun is because I changed that innermost circle from being a strong value that I can build powerful systems of improvement from to an arbitrary rating that on its own simply has no value. So in short, if you set a sustainable core value or identity and consistently practice the processes that reinforce that core value system, the outcomes or goals will surely follow with enough time and patience. To summarize this whole video, I think solo shuffle is dope, and it's opened a lot of accessibility for those of us wanting to get into Arena. I think having goals to climb rating is great, but I think setting those goals as a part of your identity or setting the expectation that you need to reach those goals is bad, because it takes away from the fun of the gameplay, which ultimately is what brought us here in the first place. And finally, next time you go to flame your teammate, just remember, we're all in this together as Arena players. Maybe next time your mage dies without using Ice Block, try to have some sympathy because we all make mistakes. And in this meta, we definitely all get globaled. There's been too many times that I've been killed in 2 globals after getting swapped to before even getting a chance to use Divine Shield. And I do get it, it's really frustrating having your game thrown by someone else's mistakes, but it is a team game. And if it helps you give them the benefit of the doubt next time, consider how if it wasn't for all of us, we wouldn't have anyone to queue into in the first place. So, that wraps it up. Please let me know in the comments if you've been enjoying solo shuffle this season, and how it's been affecting your mentality, or how you've been positioning your mentality to thrive. Also, if you could please like and subscribe, that helps me out a ton by pushing this video to more viewers. I stream my gameplay live on twitch.tv/TROHHH, because TROH is always taken by an inactive account. Thank you so stinking much for being here. I really appreciate it. Okay. Yo.
I just went 0-6.
Yo, huge, actually.
Dude, those people were terrible. Put a pressure on him. I know what? Fuck, I missed, man.
All good.
We got Hodge on healer. Oh, they're good, getting tapped, getting tapped. Oh my god, how is he not dead?
Unlucky, dude.
This is insane, man. I just went fucking 0-6. Like, I'm not a fucking bad player.
Dude,
I
happens.
don't understand why we're fucking losing like this, man. This is fucking insane. I've never fucking lost. I fucking climbed this entire. This is crazy, man. This is so fucking aggravating. Nobody's
it's just
dying.
unlucky, dude. I swear, because I fucking
Nobody's
have
fucking
had 10.
dying at all, man.